I was away for a bit, but I was still testing different perfumes, and today I wanted to talk about the Barrois perfume, Tilia. I think it's the newest perfume that they have, and I have this little sample here. This is actually the first perfume that I'm testing from this brand, and it was actually I got this sample randomly because I was ordering some by Kilian samples, like Black Phantom, but one of their perfumes was missing from the store, so instead of that, they wrote a little like, sorry, we didn't have it in store anymore. I can pick it up apparently at their like actual physical store location, but they gave me this instead, and it's by Marc-Antoine Barrois, Tilia. And I know that he has one perfume that is pretty popular, Ganymede? I think it's Ganymede, I'm not really sure. This perfume is supposed to have linden blossom in it. I think they do smell kind of similar to this, but I also had recently, actually, pretty recently, I had, maybe I still have it, wait. I actually still have it, so this is linden honey. So it's honey from bees that are close to linden, I guess. I'm not sure how all of those honeys work because I went to the honey store and they have like avocado honey or raspberry honey and all of those. They have so many honeys, like I really liked cinnamon honey, but that actually has cinnamon in it. I think this one is the honey that the bees are like around linden blossoms. I also tried cherry honey, I think, cherry blossom honey. It was very nice. I'm gonna spray it on a blotter because I don't want it on my skin right now, and I will tell you later why. But I'm outside and I can still smell it right now. The smell is very strong. When I just got this sample, I actually fell in love with the scent because I sprayed all of them on blotter papers. I got like 5 samples, I think. This one really stood out to me. From the 5 samples that I got. I really loved it on paper, and it filled the whole room. But that's a bit of a problem, and I will explain a bit later. But when I sprayed it on my hand for the first time, it actually was so much more bitter on my skin. So it smelled more bitter from my skin. It wasn't as light and airy and yellow. I still really enjoyed it from my skin, and on the next spray, I don't know, maybe I didn't wash my hands properly, but I hope I did. My hygiene is pretty okay, but it smelled completely different on my skin, and then on the second try it smelled a bit more like this, but still, it was a bit more bitter, a bit more settled down. So on paper, as I said, I really love this smell. However, my biggest problem with this is I enjoy smells that are more natural and that are a bit more conservative, I guess, or maybe classical leaning. For example, I really like Pour Monsieur by Chanel. I really like Habit Rouge by Guerlain. I really like, what other fragrances do I like? I really like Acqua di Parma's Blue Mediterranean line. I feel like all of those are a bit more lighter and a bit more airy. Oh, I really like Hermes. Hermes, their Un Jardin sur le Nil, and Hermes Purple Basil, I think that's the one. The one in the green bottle, I have one. Actually, do you want me to talk about that one? I was planning to make a video about that one, but then I wasn't wearing it today, so I was like, okay, I'll make one about Tilia. Tilia, I wore it a few times inside the house, not like going anywhere, just for myself, and it lasted the whole day. It lasted the whole day. Yesterday I was wearing it, and at some point I was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this. So I put some citrus on top of it. I have this pretty cheap, actually the cheapest perfume I have, it's from Monotheme. It's like lemon something, this bottle. So I put that on top of it, And then it did put Tilia down, and I smelled like lemon for a bit. But in 2 hours, that one disappeared because it's pretty short-lived perfume. And this appeared, I mean this disappeared again. Right now I'm wearing Vesna by Bortnikov. I want to talk about it as well, but I haven't worn it as much. So I think next video is actually going to be about Bortnikov's Vesna. However, this persists for a very long time, and I do know that a lot of people probably would enjoy that. To me, it's a bit too intense. Like, I think it's a bit similar to what Montal is. I really liked the smell of Black Oud by Montal. It's very rose heavy, and I really like roses in some fragrances, not all. I really enjoyed that smell, but it was too loud. I felt uncomfortable because I was I was on a train, and then it was projecting everywhere. I could smell it. Everyone around me could smell it. I'm like, I don't want to be the center of attention. It's not really what I like. So this, I really like it as a fragrance in my room. Like when I sprayed it on paper and I returned to my room the next day, I still smelled it in the room. It is a pretty strong fragrance, and I think that part of it is because it is very synthetic. I think that from what I've heard, I want to try other fragrances from this brand. I think there's only like 4 or 5 by Marc-Antoine Barrois. I want to try them because especially Ganmade sounds very interesting, and I know that a lot of people are in more like niche, even though this is not really a niche brand. This is not really a niche brand, but still I know that a lot of niche heads like that one. And it's supposed to smell like iron and other planets. So I want to try it, but I don't think any of those perfumes will be for me because from what I hear, most of their perfumes is it's very synthetic. And synthetic doesn't have to be bad. I'm sure that a lot of people like synthetic smelling fragrances, especially based on popularity of some brands like Montal once again and Mancera. I think those always lean pretty synthetic, at least to me. And Baccarat Rouge, for example, I think it's pretty synthetic as well, and that one is very, very popular. I want to talk about it actually. I tried it, it smells like popcorn and circus to me. But this smells very nice once again. I really love the scent from paper especially. Smelling like this myself, I wouldn't really want to. It is a very yellow fragrance, if that makes sense. It is very sunny. It is for spring, summer, I guess. I want to learn more about all of those perfumes because actually I want to start my own perfume brand at some point, and it's very interesting to me to smell different things. However, with my own preferences for myself, I don't think I would wear this. I don't really enjoy synthetic fragrances and fragrances that last for so long. As a person, I really get tired of things, and what I enjoy is either a fragrance that disappears pretty quickly, like a lot of Hermes stuff, and then I can reapply, or I can try something different, or fragrances that develop a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of linear fragrances, especially ones that stay long on your skin. If you want to always smell like this, go for it. It doesn't really change, at least to me. It becomes a bit less strong, of course, but I think it stays pretty linear. And the smell itself, as I said before, it is very yellow. It's not natural, but then it evokes images of nature. I can imagine myself in the grass, and then there are some yellow flowers around and linden blossoms, and linden is blossoming somewhere close by, and there's always sunshine. It's very bright yellow fragrance. So I thought it is also pretty unique. Maybe I haven't tried too many fragrances myself yet, but to me, I never really smelled anything like this before. And for who could wear this, I think it would be very good on, very bright, shiny people. So if you live in a warm country and you're very happy, those type of bubbly personalities, I think this would go well with you. And I think it's a pretty unisex fragrance. Maybe, I don't know, I can see anyone pull it off, but I also don't see a lot of people pulling it off because on me, how I'm dressed right now, I don't think it would really work. I think it will clash a lot with what I'm wearing, the colors. Maybe if I was wearing all white clothes, it would work, but I don't think I'm happy enough. I don't think I'm happy enough to wear this. But yes, it is a very interesting fragrance, and I don't know if you tried it. If you did, tell me what you thought about it. I think it was released like a month ago, so maybe not a lot of people tried it already. I would definitely recommend to try it. Maybe you can see it in the store, but I've never seen one of those in the store. Maybe if you live in France, you'll probably see them in the. I think it's a clothing brand, so maybe at their stores, boutiques. I think it's like a pretty small store. So yes, I would definitely recommend you to try it, especially if you found what I was talking about appealing. Um, and if you don't mind more synthetic fragrances, and especially if you like long-lasting fragrances, really try it. If you know other perfumes by this brand, do let me know what do you think about them, and if you recommend me to try anything particular. I was wondering about the B.3 something, 364. I don't know. Like the one that has just numbers, and then Ganymede as well, because of how popular that one is from this brand. I'm not sure what I want to talk about in the next video. I think maybe Bortnikov. It's a very interesting scent. It's also pretty unique. And it lasts pretty long. Like the series is called Cologne, but I'm pretty sure it's not a cologne, it's a perfume for sure. And it's a very interesting smell once again. It reminds me a bit of cellars. You know, in summer, a wine cellar or just underground cellar where you collect some things and it's colder, but then it's a bit damp and a bit, not moldy, but you know what I mean. That type of feeling. So if that sounds interesting, subscribe. If that sounds interesting, subscribe to my channel, and I will upload a video about that soon. Do let me know what you thought about this, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.